Hello crafty YouTubers, and hello to the uncrafty YouTubers. I know some people just love to watch and see stuff created, and you're not really creators, so welcome to YouTube, and hello to YouTube. Okay, blabble, blabble, blabble. Okay, first I have to apologize. I'm so sorry. I've been working off camera. Yeah, on this project that I've been working on for Diamond Dyes. Let's get to it and I'll explain the story as we go. So, Diamond Dyes, you can go over there and order any of their 6 dyes that they have available right now. Diemond, DIES, and when you're over there and you're checking it all out and you decide to order, use coupon code Kerri's Friend and get 10% off your entire order and free shipping. KERRISFRIEND. And those will both be in the description box as well. So, okay, so let me show you what I have done. Alright, the last video we took a half hour just to cut this circle. Yeah, I know. Alright. What I did is I cut out 4 more of these gold leaves. Or, yeah, fern leaves. I cut out 4 more of them. We had 4 cut, I cut 4 more. Because I really liked this when I put the top one on like that at the end of the other video. I really liked it. So I decided to see what it'd look like all the way around, and I really liked it. So, what I think I might end up doing though is cutting off the stems. So that way they're just like, because the stems overlap each other and I don't really like that for this look. So if I cut them off and just put them together like that so that there's no stem, or we just tuck and tuck, we could just tuck and tuck, because then you still have the stem, which makes it still look real. Ooh, that looks nice. So we'll see. I haven't quite 100% decided yet. But anyways, so the last video we cut the circle. And then same as I did in the very first video, put my gold, ink of gold, on a piece of white cardstock. I let it dry overnight, and then I buffed it, and then I cut 4 more of these little guys. And last night, okay, the reason I worked off camera for a little bit is last night my kids were playing up here and my husband was playing a video game that I don't particularly like, so I didn't feel like sitting downstairs with him, so I come up to just kind of mess around in my craft room, and then I just started kind of picking away at this a little bit. And what I ended up doing is I painted this whole thing with gray gesso, front and back. See, that's the back. That's just the gray gesso. What I think I'm going to do is just cover it with a piece of paper instead of painting the back. Because I hate how when you paint one side and it's laying down and you paint it, and paint pools underneath and causes like a weird marking on the opposite side. And I don't want that on this side of it. So, what I think I'll do is just get a piece of 12 by 12 paper and just cut it, like adhere it and then flip it over and cut it out so that it's backed. Or I may not even back it at all, it'll depend on how we really end up going with this. But anyway, so I primed it all with gray gesso. The main reason I did that is because my black chipboard bleeds. Excuse me, when you put like Mod Podge or white paint or anything like that on it, it bleeds and causes it to have a purple hue or a tint to it. So, and that's why I didn't use white gessos, because I figured the white gesso would end up with a purple hue. So I have this Rob Ross gray gesso, and I just used it and it worked awesome. Like if the chipboard bled, you couldn't tell because it's gray, you know. And then I just looked at both sides and was like, oh, okay, which side looks better? And I chose this side, and then I just painted it with some black acrylic paint. And doesn't like say it's a gloss finish or anything, it's just acrylic paint. It gave it a nice little finish. When I primed it with the gray gesso, originally what I was going to try to do was make this whole thing look like a sunset as you put this in here. Like try to cut it, you know, like okay, boom, boom, this is all black, and then bam, that would be all sunset. But then I was like, you know what, that's just a little too much. And I'm like, and then my leaves just would look weird because they're going to cover up most of it. So that's when I decided to go with just all black. I Googled to see what colors went best with gold. And black was the number one. Blacks and browns and reds, and they listed off all sorts of them. So I went with black. I like black. Black and blue are my two favorite colors. So, boom, we did all that. Or I did that. Cut those. Well, then what I did is I took my poem, and I wanted it a little bit bigger, and I wanted a little fancier print. So I found this print on my computer, which I don't know if it was one that was on there or one that I downloaded from dafont.com. But I found a font that I liked, and I printed it out, and then I cut it out. Okay, we can move this, and we can zoom back in now. Well, then I cut it out into little strips. But then I was like, man, that white just really stands out. Because it was just white cardstock. And yes, there's stuff on the back because the first time I printed it printed out huge. But I was trying to get the letters so that they were 1/2 inch. And yeah, I wasn't thinking about the fact that if they're 1/2 inch tall, they're going to be really long as well. I'm zoomed in a little too far. Well, I'm not for what I was doing. So then I took, and I was sitting here and I'm going, oh man, what can I do to him to tone him down? And so then I was like, well, if I color over it, it's got to be something that is translucent, so that you can still see the writing. Then all of a sudden I was like, oh, Silk's acrylic glazes. So first I tried Sunflower, which is a yellow. That to me was just too much with all the gold leaves that we got. Then I tried, Key Lime. There you go, camera. Good job. And that was just too bright for what we're doing. Then I tried Olive Vine, and that was just perfect of a color. But look, now you can't really see the writing. I know you can on these two, but that's because I found a solution. Now this is it's using a very, very crazy tool, and it's an extremely, extremely hard technique. So I'm sorry that I even used it because, I know how people like to recreate, but I'm sorry I had to make it work. So I took this thing called a Sharpie pen in black, and I traced my letters. I gotchas, didn't I? Sorry, I'm a little loopy today, I'm tired. But yeah, so I just laid it down, and to the best of my ability, I traced it. That's why it kind of looks a little rough in places. But it honestly, I thought it looked cool because now it looks like it's handwritten. So now it looks like I have really neat handwriting, which I don't. So now we have that. So let me show you what I'm going for. So these probably won't be in order. Ashes first green is gold. Her heart is you to hold. Her early leaves of flower. but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leave. So even sank to grieve. Dawn goes down today, nothing gold can stay. So they're going to be in the off places. And then we're going to have 2 of each of these leaves. And just kind of plopping these down. Just so you can see where I'm going with it. Bam. So then we're going to have it like that. With this in the middle. And this will actually be lifted up and adhered even with the flat part of the canvas, like the top of the canvas. And then, I'm not honestly sure if I'm going to do anything more to the canvas or if I'm just going to leave it with a painting of a sunset. But what I also want to do, I want to take and add in a few more dyes because of nature. Nature's first green is gold. And then her early leaf's a flower. So I might try to work in the sunflower dye. I also have the realistic rose dye, but I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm still working with that one. I showed these in a previous video, I believe, but first attempt, second attempt, and this one it was my third attempt, but I was putting the glue in a different spot, and it ended up completely like sealing my bud in there. So I think, honestly, I think I need a different glue gun because my end on my glue gun is huge. Like, it pours out a lot of glue at once. My husband bought it for me at one of the German stores here. It's almost like a German Home Depot, like a Home Depot, but it's called Gila. But it's basically like a Home Depot or a Lowe's. Like, it's construction stuff and all sorts of stuff. But anyways, it's got a really big tip on it. And I really need one of those ones that's got like a small tip. So just a little bit of glue comes out at a time. But I need to find, I'm probably going to have to just buy one to work with my transformer instead. Because unless I can find a 220 volt one. But anyways, I think that's my biggest problem with the roses is I'm getting too much glue out of my glue gun at one point. And so it's gluing them all together on me. So I'm still working with those to get better at them. So in the meantime, I'm just trying to use up the other dyes and all that. I also thought some butterflies would be cute, maybe like on the edges of the canvas. Like folded up so that they're 3D off the canvas. Maybe some of these, the pine branch coming from behind the circle and touching the canvas like that. I thought would look really cute. So I have some more ideas to work in some more dyes, so that way there's more to it. Well, there's more of Diemond dyes in the project. So, but what works great is all these dyes are all about nature, and that's what this poem is about, is nature. So I could really work in some cool stuff, but I love my sunset. At this point, it's almost like maybe we should just take this out and just decorate the circle. Make it a wreath or something, but I think this is a cool little addition. We add it on and then just decorate all around it with the dyes and stuff, and then we have the poem to offset, well, not offset, but the poem's in there as well to add to it. And once I finish tracing the words, it'll actually be able to be read. So that's where I'm going with all of this as of right now. I mean, all you crafters know it could change in a couple hours or in a day. Oh yeah, when I did the little tab, the little words, I used my we are memory keepers, 1/8 of an inch corner rounder on the corners of each one of them, so that they have cute little corners, rounded corners. So, which was really hard with those tiny little slivers of paper. So that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry I mean, it seems like a lot, but it really wasn't. But I'm sorry I did it off camera, Anya's. I really need to be working with my, on my design team projects. And just sometimes, I know a lot of yous don't mind my kids in the background, but sometimes they're just too loud. And, plus, a lot of what I did was thought processing. And for y'all just to be sitting here watching me go, and try this and try that, it's kind of boring for y'all. I mean, unless you really like seeing the whole thought process come out. I know some people do. I do. My friend Jane's videos, who's also a Diamond Dye design team member. She's Velocity Vet 008. I love watching her videos because she takes you through her whole entire thought process. Except for just the coming up with the initial idea, you watch her figure it all out as she's doing it. So it's pretty cool, but for me at this time, it's hard for me to do because I want to try to have my videos just without so much of the kids screaming in the background or constantly coming in. Even though I know that's not a big deal to many of you or to a lot of you. It's just my personal preference. I mean, I love them. They're crazy. They're something else. But my biggest thing is I hate being interrupted when I'm crafting and I have a mindset going, because as you can all tell, as like when I'm talking, I get distracted very easily and I kind of lose my thoughts and I'm like, oh crap, where was I? I used to be able to multitask really well. I guess getting older does that to you. So, this is where we're at. So I'm going to finish tracing these. And I think I'm going to cut a couple more of the dies out. Sorry, I was listening. I think the baby might be up. But I'm going to cut a few more of the different dies. Like I said, the pine tree and maybe even the sunflower. Oh, you know what might look really cool is, and I know they don't go together, but it might just look cool, is to separate these out a little bit. I'm trying to get them so that they kind of are even. And then putting the sunflower in the center of each of... Oh, man, I think that would look really cool. So, off camera, I'll cut out the sunflower, but I'll put it together with you on camera because I know I haven't done a video yet on the sunflower dye. Honestly, I haven't used it yet. I will be 100% honest. I have not used it yet. I want to. It's one of my favorites. I think it's really cool, but... I was trying to dive into the design team projects, but I really do. I mean, like, you take that rose and you put that there instead. Sunflower would be awesome. Because, and another thing is the sunflower is going to go with the color scheme. Or even, I saw, I just watched this morning, Karen, another Diamond Dye's design team member, I can't, her channel is like a few letters and then I think it's like Scrapper, but I can put a link to her, I'll put a link to her channel in the description as well, or to the video I'm referring to. She used the sunflower dye to create a daisy, which was basically just changing the colors, which I thought was really cool. So I could either do sunflower or daisy, because either way the colors are going to go with this, and I really like the way that would look. Like I say, don't mind my roses. they're not the prettiest, but I mean, even if I could do a good rose, that would look awesome. Excuse me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll cut flowers for on top of each of these, and then I'm going to cut the pine branches to come off of the back of this in to here to cover up all this empty space. So it's going to be a lot of them. And so for those, do I want to... For those, what I honestly think I might do is I might use the olive vine silk's acrylic glaze and paint the paper that I'm going to use with this, and then cut the pine trees out with this color, just because like that as a pine branch would look really cool. Or I may look and see if I have this green yellow Inca gold. Ew. Okay, that one's going in the trash. It's got mold in it. Okay, so I don't have green yellow. I can't believe that's got mold. I don't think I'd ever used it. Ooh. Okay, well, hold on. This one's green yellow as well, and it doesn't have mold. That might be another good color, because then I'll give it a shine as well. So I might do that instead, because that would take a lot of my silks. So I'm going to cut those off camera though. Yeah, that's the one I got. I cannot believe that one had mold. Okay, if you get grossed out easily by like mold and stuff, don't look right now. Close your eyes. But look at that. It's never even been used. So, alright. So that's what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen. And so like I say, I'm going to cut those off camera, and then I'll come on camera, show you how to put together the as I throw it, show you how to put together the sunflower on camera. And then I'll have everything else ready, and then we can put together the outside of the circle. So that's what we will do. So hopefully I can get that one done tonight. And we'll attach the circle to this and decorate it all up, and then this project should be done. Unless I think of more to do. But alright, I have to end this video now because I do hear my little man up downstairs, so I will be back as soon as I can. Well, I'm going to end this one. I'll be back with a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.